Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be trying the Colourpop and Hocus Pocus collection. I was able to pick up almost everything from this collection, but I am missing the lip kits and the lashes. The lashes I didn't really care for because I don't wear lashes on a regular basis, but the lip kits I was initially disappointed because I did want to purchase all three so that I could swatch them for you in today's video, but I wasn't able to purchase any of them because everything sold out in minutes. So I did manage to get the eyeshadow palette, which is actually the one that I was the most excited about in this entire collection. I know a lot of people had a problem with the shade selection, but honestly, I really like it. I think it looks kind of grungy, but it does have a few pops of color. So I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I know I probably already have most of these shades in other palettes, but I like that it's all in one palette, and of course the packaging is so cute. The sisters are printed on the inside of the palette, so yeah, I really like it. And then I also picked up the Glitterly Obsessed Body Gel Glitters. I actually tried the purple one yesterday, which is so pretty. I did use it on my eyes, which you're not supposed to do, but I did it anyway, and I did wake up with a little bit of glitter still around my eyes and on my face, so just letting you know. But yeah, this one is really pretty. This one is called Amok, and the gold one is called Another Glorious Morning. And then I also picked up the eyeliners, which I was also very excited about. You do get a metallic red, green, and purple. I really like these. I can't wait to try them. But before we get into it, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and also give this video a like if you do enjoy this video, and let's just go ahead and get started. First of all, the packaging is so cute. I think they did an amazing job with the packaging of this palette, and I'm actually really glad that they didn't include a mirror because I personally don't use mirrors in palettes. Since I do have one hand, I can't just like hold up a palette and do my makeup like that. I have to use my desktop mirror. That's just my personal preference because of my situation. But I really like this graphic that they included on the inside of the palette instead of a mirror. I love the style that they went with. My only slight complaint is that they keep including these sequin type of shades. I don't know what is up with Colourpop lately, but almost every single palette that I've tried from them within like the past year or so, they always include so many of these sequin shades, which do look very pretty in the pan, I'm not gonna lie. But once you apply them to your eyes and you blend them even just a little bit, the glitter just like scatters all over the eyes. Like this shade right here, Coven, and then also Come Little Children. I really wish they would have made those mattes. So I was originally gonna play with the greens because this row to me is one of my favorites in this palette, but I kind of want to play with this row, which is more like smoky and grungy. So I might do a look with this shade right here. This one is called Goodbye Cruel World. I love the shade names, by the way. I don't remember like everything about Hocus Pocus, so I'm not super familiar with the shade names in here because I haven't watched it in years. I want to say I was a kid when I last watched it, so I don't fully remember everything that happened in the movie. I have an overall idea, but I'm not like super fresh on it. So I think I'm gonna start off with the shade Hello Salem, which is this really light mauvey kind of shade. So I'm first gonna take that shade on this fluffy blending brush. This is from Real Techniques. Okay, so this shade is not really showing up on me. It's very, very light, so I am gonna have to build it up a little bit. I don't see this shade showing up on someone with a medium to deep skin tone because I have a light to medium skin tone, and even though I did build it up, I barely see it in my crease. So it's just gonna be a barely there transition kind of shade. Okay, next I'm taking the shade Come Little Children. And again, I wish this was a matte. Okay, so this shade is very pretty. I love the taupiness to it. And again, I don't love the sequin shades, but I don't want to make it seem like I completely hate them either. I just would have preferred them to be mattes in this palette, especially because it is more like grungy. But as you can see, the glitter did completely just fly away. And there have been occasions where I do want the glitter to stay in the shadow. Sometimes I'll take a sequin shade and just pack it all over the lid with my finger, or even just a brush, and then I blend it just a little bit. So it is kind of a versatile formula, but definitely not for everyone. And then I'm just trying to use as many shades as I can from this palette. So I'm gonna take the shade Coven, and I'm gonna take that on a smaller brush. This is the Morphe JH33 brush. So I'm gonna tap that right onto the outer corners. And then I'm gonna take whatever's left on the brush and blend it into the crease. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade On Toast. So I'm just gonna go lightly into the crease. Okay, I'm gonna take this shade, which is called I Call It a Bust. On that same Morphe JH33 brush, I'm just gonna lightly dip into that and deepen up the outer corners. Ooh, yeah. That was a one dip into the shade, so very nice. Okay, I do have a tiny bit of glitter kind of scattered over my lids. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's just like a tiny bit. So yeah, that of course is because of the sequin shades that I used, but I don't think it looks terrible. I think you can barely even tell. And then I'm gonna go back in with Come Little Children and just blend that into the crease again. Okay, I'm gonna take this taupey purpley metallic shade. This one is called Goodbye Cruel World. And I'm gonna apply that all over the lid with my finger, as I usually do with metallic shades. This shade is right up my alley, especially for the fall. I'm just gonna take that fluffy blending brush and just blend around the edges. And I'm flicking it out on the outer corners because I want it to be ever so slightly like winged out. You guys, I am loving this lid shade. I love that it's taupey, but it has a little bit of like a bronzy undertone, I guess. All right, so I went ahead and did my base makeup off camera, and I also did my brows. So I'm gonna first dip into the shade Coven, this one right here, and I'm gonna apply that with a pencil brush. Actually, I'm gonna take this Anastasia dual-ended brush, the one that comes in the palettes. So dipping into the shade Coven. So I'm going to blend that onto the lower lash line. I am getting a little bit of glitter kind of scattering everywhere. Or not everywhere, just around my eyes. So yeah, it's a little bit more visible on my lower lashes, but I don't really mind, to be honest. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of On Toast using the fluffy side of that brush. I'm just gonna use that to blend out that first shade. And then with a smaller pencil brush, this is the Sigma E30 pencil brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade I Call It a Bust. So I'm just dipping in once, and then I'm gonna keep this really close to my lashes, and I'm not bringing it in more than halfway. And then again, just lightly blending around the edges. I'm going to apply Goodbye Cruel World onto the inner portion of the lower lash line. I'm going to keep it right here. Taking a little bit more of On Toast. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. I am going to apply one of the eyeliners to my waterline. So in this collection, you get 3 eyeliner shades. First, we have Sistas, which is a metallic red shade. Next is a Trick or Treat, which is a purple metallic shade. And then finally, we have Black Flame Candle, which is a metallic green shade. I do like the eyeliner shades that they chose for this collection because they are a little brighter than the shades that you get in the palette, which is more muted or just grungy. So I feel like these pair really nicely with the palette. When I was swatching these yesterday, I noticed that they are extremely creamy to the point where they could break easily. And that actually happened with the purple shade. What is it called? Trick or Treat. This one did break on me when I was swatching it, so just letting you know, be very careful and use a light amount of pressure when working with these because they are so creamy that they tend to break easily. But I like that they're pigmented. I feel like either one of these would work with this look, but since I am going in with a red lip today, I want to match it a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna take the red shade. Okay, that glided on so easily. I really like this red shade. I feel like it adds a really nice pop of color, especially since I did go with a smokier look today. Since they are metallic, they might not be for everyone, but I really like these. I think they're very pretty. And for my inner corners, I do want to take the shade Full Moon, which is another sequin shade. I know I played with pretty much every single sequin shade in this palette, but I just love the tones in here. So I'm going to apply that to my inner corners with a tiny little brush. This is a Dominique Cosmetics DS05, the Pigment brush. I might top this with another shade later on, but for now I'm just going to pop that on. I don't know that I like that as an inner corner highlight, but it's too late. No going back. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible, but I want a little something extra. So yeah, I'll go in with an actual highlighter later on. Moving on to the Glitterly Obsessed body glitters. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but I did play around with the purple one yesterday. I did apply it to my eyes, which you're not supposed to do because these are not technically eye safe. I took the risk anyway yesterday with this purple shade. This one is called Amok. This is definitely my favorite one out of both of these. The other one is a yellow gold shade, which is called Another Glorious Morning. I do like this one, but I just am really drawn to the purple one. So I don't think I'm going to use these in today's look, but I will insert a picture of the look that I did yesterday using the purple shade. This one is really pretty because it is mostly purple, but it has tiny little blue micro glitters. So yeah, this one is my favorite one so far. But moving on to the lips. Actually before that, I'm gonna apply some blush really quickly. So I think I'm gonna go in with this Cover FX monochromatic blush duo in the shade Warm Honey. This is very new to me, but I have been using it a ton and I love this little blush duo, especially the matte side. I don't think I'm going to use the shimmery side today, and since I am going in with a red lip today, I feel like this is going to pair well with it, hopefully. Hopefully I don't regret going in with this, but we shall see. And then for highlighter, I'm taking the Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Daybreak Glimmer, which is one of my current favorite highlighters. So I'm going to take that on my Real Techniques setting brush. And I'm actually going to apply this to my inner corners as well, since I didn't love the inner corner highlight that I used. Applying it onto my inner corners. Oh yeah, way better. Okay, that about does it for the eyeshadow and everything else on my face. Like I said, I wasn't able to purchase any of the lip kits, unfortunately. I really wanted the Sarah one, which is called the I Am Beautiful lip kit. So I really wanted that one, but everything sold out so quickly that I just couldn't get my hands on it. But I figured I do have a ton of red lipsticks in my collection that I never even reached for. So here are just a few of my favorite red lip liners in my collection. And I feel like these pair really nicely with pretty much any tone of red lipstick. So from left to right, I have the NYX lip liner in the shade Red Tape. Next is Urban Decay Wonderland, Urban Decay 69, the NYX Slim lip liner in the shade Cabaret, and then the NYX Retractable lip liner in the shade Dark Red. As for the red lipsticks, I do have mostly liquid lipsticks, but I do have, I think, at least one traditional bullet lipstick. So from left to right, I have the E.L.F. Seriously Satin lipstick in the shade Pepper, the Persona Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Holy Grail, L'Oreal Paris Rouge Signature in the shade I Am Worth It, Nars Powermatte lip pigment in the shade Starwoman, the Lip Bar liquid lipstick in the shade Brickhouse, and then finally the Ofra Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Havana Nights. I'm not saying that any of these are exact dupes for the lip kits in this collection, but just from reading the description of each of the lip kits, I feel like some of these are pretty similar, or at least they could be dupes. Again, not in terms of formula, but just the shades. But I did just want to mention some of my favorite red lipsticks because I'm sure a lot of you weren't able to purchase any of the lip kits as well. I don't think you're really missing out on much. I think it's more for the packaging and just knowing that it's Hocus Pocus that made me feel like I was missing out on the lip kits, at least just at first, not anymore. But I'm just gonna go in with Ofra Havana Nights. And I'm first gonna line my lips with the NYX Retractable Lip Liner in the shade Dark Red, which I think is gonna pair nicely with Havana Nights. So I'm just gonna line my lips and then taking Ofra Havana Nights, just going right over top. I'm just gonna quickly recap everything that I tried today, starting with the Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette. I did already mention this, but I know a lot of people had a problem with the shade selection of this palette, but to me, the colors in here make sense. It's very much a grungy kind of color scheme. The color selection in here makes sense to me because this movie is from the early 90s, and from what I remember, I know I haven't watched the movie in many years, but I feel like this does fit the Hocus Pocus aesthetic. I didn't have a problem with any of the shades in here. Everything is super pigmented, very rich, easy to blend, everything that I look for in eyeshadows. I'm probably gonna use this palette for Halloween, so yeah, I'm not sure what kind of look I'm gonna do just yet. The Glitterly Obsessed body glitters. These glitters to me are more for special occasions or for Instagram makeup looks. So I do like the shades and the packaging. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I love that they have a black cat on it. I forget the name of the black cat in the movie. I know I haven't watched the movie in so long that I'm forgetting a lot about it. But yeah, I love the packaging. The shades are very pretty, but not something that I use on a regular basis. And then finally, the eyeliners. I really like these. I've always been a fan of the Colourpop Cream Gel liners. They're always really creamy and pigmented. I really like the red shade that I used, which is called Sistas. I feel like it really tied the whole look together, and it's a really nice pop of color in the waterline. So yeah, I can't wait to use the green and the purple. They're really pigmented from when I was swatching them. So that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this Colourpop Hocus Pocus review. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!